So the Sunday after Easter, stating once again, is Divine Mercy Sunday. So we can talk about the mercy of God, or we can talk about the gospel today, where doubting Thomas says he won't believe in the resurrection until he sticks his fingers in the wounds of Christ. The trick, I think, is talking about both of those things at the same time. What is the connection between divine mercy and Thomas's claim to fame as the disciple who doubted in Christ's return? Well, in short, this is a you'll see it when you believe in it lesson. And I admit it, this is a little bit of a chicken or the egg situation. Do we believe something because we see it and know it to be true? Or do we believe something and only then see the evidence? Because obviously life is full of both of these things, and honestly, the dividing line, it can be a little blurry. Case in point, causality and or the scientific method. Sure, we believe in something when we see the evidence. That's definitely the idea. But on a more metaphysical level, you need to believe in that method before it has any value. Testing a hypothesis by gathering and analyzing data is a great and vital thing, absolutely. But if you don't value that process in the first place, you will not learn anything from it. I don't want to get too deep into current events. But there are people, as we speak, that believe ridiculous things about the coronavirus right now that directly contradict basic biology. You know, if you want to calm your fears a little bit about the state of the world right now, you need to start with a belief. And that belief is that the coronavirus is a virus. It is a virus bound by biology like any other virus. And that means we know some things about how it spreads and how it can be prevented. If you skip that step of believing, of trusting the validity of the scientific method, well, you open yourself up to a great deal of frustration and pain as a result of inaccurate information. Without that belief, we descend into coronavirus superstitions. You know, the virus breeds in toilet paper. It can spread through our plumbing and air conditioning. Though the list goes on, I don't want to go too far on that. All of it is missing the point that we know things about viruses. And if we ignore that, we're defenseless against those wrong understandings. You know, the only thing we're missing is the belief that good smells will protect you from the illness. Remember that from Ring Around the Rosie? A pocket full of posies? That's a leftover from the Black Death when people thought that disease was spread by bad smells. We can do better than that. We can choose to trust in the systematic knowledge of the world around us, and we will see it when we believe it. I never said this stuff was easy, you know. But one thing seems perfectly obvious to me. Believing in something, that is to say, putting your trust in it, is absolutely vital in life, as is seeing the world around us. One does not get us very far without the other. Thomas is shamed because he can't bring himself to believe that Christ is back from the dead. It's just too much to hope for. And when he really does see Christ, you know, wounds and all, he's flooded with joy and relief. And I think at that moment, he was reminded of how much faith he had in Christ in general. Maybe he didn't understand the whole resurrection business, but there is no doubt in my mind that Thomas loved Jesus dearly from the bottom of his heart. His doubt was perhaps not the product of faithlessness, but heartbreak. Heartbreak can have that effect on a person, you know. And seeing Christ one more time was enough to set that flame of faith alive in his heart once more. He believed it when he saw it because he believed in it. I hope I'm not confusing you too much today. I realize that kind of sounds like a riddle. We can dial back the riddles for our final subtopic for today, as promised, divine mercy. Divine Mercy Sunday, remember? Mercy and forgiveness is just one of those things that does not exist until you believe in it. Believing in mercy is the first step in making it real. If mercy is not a quality in your life as a person, it will not make an appearance when you're in need of it. If you are a cruel and harsh person to the bone and someone shows you mercy, it will roll off you like water off the back of a duck. Go ahead and look at the most deeply cynical people of history, like people who obviously did not believe in mercy. Mercy in their eyes is nothing more than weakness and opportunity. They're the sorts of people that never show mercy, but they're also incapable of receiving mercy. You know, it doesn't make any sense to them. They don't believe it, and therefore they don't see it. And as a result, their lives are a never-ending sequence of action and reaction, crime and punishment, gain and loss. Mercy and forgiveness is about more than that. Mercy is a virtue because it aids us all in becoming the best possible versions of ourselves. We forgive one another our faults and errors for the sake of moving on in life as something more than merely competitors. But we have to believe in it before we see it. If we don't believe that there's more to life than the survival of the fittest, then we just won't see all the rest that life has to offer. If we don't believe that mercy and forgiveness and unity are worthwhile, we remain on that lowest common denominator level of might makes right, of life has no purpose, of nothing matters more than getting our next meal. That's not a very nice place to live. Even if you're winning, it's not a nice place to live. To rise above all of that, you gotta believe in something more. You need to believe that there is more to life than power, material gain, or status. But if you do, in fact, believe that we are at our best when we look out for one another and forgive one another our failings, well, then you open your eyes to the endless amount of evidence that shows us exactly that that attitude is the true key to lasting happiness. And we will see it when we believe in it.